The small intestine. The small intestine is highly coiled structure and it is about 7.5 meters long. It receives the secretions from liver and the pancreas. At the same time, even the small intestine also secretes some juices. Coming to the liver is a reddish brown gland situated in the upper part of the abdomen. It is the largest gland in our body that you have to note. Which is the largest gland in our body? Liver. It secretes bile juice which is stored in a sac-like structure. That sac-like structure is called as gallbladder. And this bile juice helps in the digestion of fats. Coming to the pancreas, it is a large cream colored gland just below the stomach. The pancreatic juice helps in the digestion of carbohydrates, fats and proteins and convert them into simpler forms. Now the partly digested food which is in the small intestine reaches the lower part of the small intestine where intestinal juice completes the digestion of all the components of the food. It may be proteins or carbohydrates or it may be fats or any roughages, isn't it? So we can say that in case of small intestine, most part of the food is digested. The carbohydrates get broken down into simpler sugars such as glucose, fats into fatty acids and glycerol, and proteins into amino acids. Let us study about absorption in the small intestine. As we have already studied that the digested food which contains glucose or fatty acids and glycerol or amino acids will now enter the blood vessels in the intestine or small intestine, and that process is known as absorption. How it will enter? The inner walls of the small intestine have thousands of finger-like outgrowths, finger-like small structures or outgrowths known as villi. These villi increases the surface area for absorption of digested food. Each villus has a network of thin blood vessels which helps in absorbing the digested food materials. The absorbed substances are transported to different organs of the body through the blood vessels. There, they build complex substances such as the proteins which is required by the body, and that process is known as assimilation. Assimilation is also one of the important process in case of digestion of the food. That means the absorbed digested food has to get assimilated in various body organs. In the cells, the glucose breaks down into carbon dioxide and water with the help of oxygen, and then energy is released. The food which remains undigested in the small intestine enters into the large intestine now. We have studied about ingestion in buccal cavity, digestion in stomach and absorption and assimilation in small intestine. The food that remains undigested and unabsorbed enters into the large intestine. If we study the structure of large intestine, it is wider and shorter than small intestine. It is about 1.5 meters in length. What may be its function? Its function is to absorb water and some salts from the undigested food materials. After absorption of salts and water, the remaining waste has to pass into the rectum and thereby it is converted into semi-solid feces. The fecal matter is removed through the anus from time to time, and that process is known as egestion. Of course, removal of fecal matter is also very important. Otherwise, you may suffer from a problem called constipation. Of course, you have to drink plenty of water for the process of egestion so that the digestion, assimilation, absorption will go on smoothly inside your system. An adult has to drink about 2 to 3 liters of water every day. Then only the process of digestion, assimilation, absorption and egestion will go on very smoothly and you will be healthy also. Let us study the digestion in case of grass-eating animals. You might have seen a cow chewing continuously. So in case of these animals, the stomach is four-chambered, which is called as rumen, reticulum, omasum and abomasum. When they eat the grass, they just swallow it and store it in the part of the stomach called rumen. Here, the grass is partially digested and that digested food is called as cud. But the cud returns to the mouth in small lumps and the animal chews it. This process is called as rumination. Chewing of the cud continuously is known as rumination. And these animals are also called as ruminants. You must know that the grass or the green leaves is rich in cellulose, a type of carbohydrate. In ruminants like cattle, deer, bacteria is present in this rumen and helps in the digestion of cellulose. But in human beings, this bacteria is not there. Many animals, including humans, cannot digest cellulose. Animals like horse or rabbit have a large sac-like structure called cecum between the esophagus and the small intestine. The cellulose of the food is digested here by the action of certain bacteria which is present in ruminants but not in human beings. Let us study about feeding and digestion in amoeba. Amoeba is a single-celled organism and found in pond water. We have to use a microscope in order to see the small structure, that is amoeba. It has an outer layer known as cell membrane and it has dense nucleus. Along with that, small round structures are present known as vacuoles. Sometimes it pushes out one or more finger-like projections known as pseudopodia in order to capture the food or for the movement also. Amoeba eats some microscopic organisms. When it senses food, it pushes out this pseudopodia and it engulfs the food particle. The food becomes trapped in the food vacuole where it is digested because of the enzymes secreted in the food vacuole. Digestive juices are secreted in the food vacuole, hence the food gets digested into simpler substances. Gradually, the digested food is absorbed. The absorbed substances are used for growth, maintenance and multiplication also. Again, the undigested food or undigested waste is expelled outside by the vacuole.